everyone. I'm really excited to be here with my friend Ilka, who I haven't seen in forever. Ilka.
In ages.
Ages.
Whoa.
Yeah. You were speaking today about creating the life you want. I love that because it's so easy in today's society to sit back and think that life is happening to us instead of through us, and we can look at the pandemic and the government and the economy and think that what do I have the power to create? So what is it that you're telling people about creating the life that they want?
Well, the main point today was to take time to think about your life, and I think that's the most important time. Most or not, maybe it's too much to say most, but many people are just kind of let life happen to them, and not kind of thinking how they would like them to be, how they want the life to be. So the most important thing is to take the time and just stop. Even if you have good life like you have, to stop and think, where do you want it to be in the future? Because the future, we can't know how it is, but I think and I believe that we can create it every day.
So not running on autopilot, but sort of taking the pause to see what's next, or what is it that I really want. What would you say are the top things to do if we want to make that change from living life unconsciously to becoming the creators of our own realities?
Like I said, the first thing is to stop to think. Yeah, kind of pause. Well, actually, I didn't tell this in the event, but kind of the method how I do it, and I think everyone should find their own way. But I like to do it, kind of get my body some way energized, so that I'm not in a sleepy state. Because if you're in a sleepy state, it's not creating things in the same way when you are energized. So first I do something to get myself energized.
Like what? Dancing, stand on your head? Like what?
Jumping and dancing and going for a run, doing little circuit training, or going into an ice bath or something, okay. Get myself, waked up. And then I take a small time just to meditate, kind of be in silence. And I've noticed that's kind of quite important to make the state where you can create something new. And then I start to visualize the life how I would like it to be.
When you say meditate, what is that? Because I know people use that word a lot.
Yeah.
What does it really mean to meditate? Is it a few minutes where you just follow your breath or calm down, or what is that like?
And I'm not a meditation teacher, but how I teach people how to meditate is kind of close your eyes. Close two things, your eyes and your mouth. Shut up.
Even that's a good starting point for being aware.
Yeah. Just be quiet in your mind, or quiet with your mouth, and then your mind goes wherever it goes. And my ratio is kind of, if I have 15 minutes time, I meditate for 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes do the visualizing. So kind of that. If I have 10 minutes, then maybe I use 6-7 minutes to do the meditation, and then 3 minutes to visualize the future.
So you meditate and then you visualize. What should people do if they're stuck in a difficult situation? How do they go from being stuck on what's happening all around them to switching to visualizing what they would rather have instead? Do you have some tips for that?
Yeah, kind of. The first thing that I said was kind of, when you're in a certain state, you make certain ideas. So if you're in a state that my life is now in a difficult place, you just kind of get it out from you. So that's why I do the running, or doing something else where when I go into the ice bath, I kind of forget my worries. I'm worried about the cold water. Yeah. It's a new worry, and it's a different worry. So I do that on purpose. And then the meditation is kind of also kind of getting rid of the bad ideas. Just let all the thoughts come and go, kind of. And then the visualizing is actually easier. And if you can't imagine the future, how do you want it to be, then the choice is also to kind of draw it and write it. The next step after the visualizing is anyway writing it down. Kind of how do you want the future to be? And even if you can't imagine it, write it down. Kind of tell yourself story. And actually, some of the people are not so good in visualizing. So for those people, kind of you can focus on the story. What do you talk inside of your head? So just tell a new story. How do you want the future to be? And some people are kind of worried about, for example, when they're in a difficult place, they're worried, but what if this happened? And what they can do for that? And I always say it's just plan the life. How do you want it to be? Not like worrying at what if this happens. No, tell a new story. How do you want it to go?
Because even if those bad things would happen, there's nothing you can do about it right now. So why not play the game and enjoy it?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. We can't know how the future will go.
True.
So that's why kind of getting their own power and getting their own power back and kind of thinking, where do you want to lead your life?
So visualize, write it down, and what's next?
Well, kind of... If we go into the process, create your own life process, which is 7-step process, the next thing there would be kind of, you can first kind of write down whatever comes up to your mind, and then you choose more specific goals there, kind of, and write them down even more specific. Because if you just kind of do these steps too loose, it's not working that well. So, for example, you ask, what if people are in a difficult place? So, if you're in a difficult place, it's hard to imagine the best solution or the best future. Then you just kind of get some ideas on the paper, and then you choose that I will focus on that thing because I'm in a different place. I want to focus on that thing. I will create a change there. And then after that, after choosing, you start to think kind of a specific goal or the same thing in a more specific way. Where do you want to go? What it means, what it doesn't mean. And you can kind of write a list of, for example, 10 or 20 or 100 things, what it means. And this is an interesting process. When you do that, you get more excited about it. You get you get more belief that it will happen, and you can really create your own life because you're not just kind of doing it quickly, which most of people do. They're kind of, this is my goal, and then it's done. I would use into that process more time, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour.
Okay.
You know, just more time and really think about it, what it really means and what it doesn't mean. And this is, for example, how we got our own house, our own dream house in one day.
What did you do?
Just, creating exactly kind of what is the house, what kind of it is, making a lot of points how we want it to be. And then we were looking at online, different houses, and we created more points, not like that, but that, not like that, but that.
Okay.
And in the end, we didn't go to see any other houses but one.
Okay.
And actually, we didn't even find that online. It was from a grocery store shop, from the
Bulletin board.
yeah.
Wow.
And we are selling a house, and I called them and I asked a few questions, and they were kind of yes in my points. And then we went to see it, and okay, this is all of the things that we want. And we went to see it like 7 times before we bought it. But we didn't go to see any house because they didn't match our criteria. So this is an example of a house, but this same example can be compared to anything.
For money, for love, for any goal.
Yeah, exactly. And also to all the inner goals. For example, if you feel bad about your life now, if that's okay, it's okay. But if you don't want to be in that place, so You might not know even what you want and what will kind of change the thing. But I know one thing that you want, and it's that you feel maybe good or you feel happy or whatever it is. So I would make a goal with one sentence. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling happy with my life. And then getting those points, how do you know that? Well, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, I feel like shit. So in the future, first thing in the morning, I want to feel that I've slept really well. First thing in the morning, I want to get this single feeling that this day could be good. And those points can be whatever, kind of creating hundreds of points. How do you know where you are, exactly where you want to be? And then the interesting thing is that all these points will give you kind of guidance how to make that happen really quickly. Because we got lucky how to find the house in one day. It might take several months or whatever. But these inner goals, I would say that the changes are really quick if you know where to put your focus. And this helps you to put your focus in the right place.
Because happiness is a decision, for sure.
Yeah, and this is what we did with the audience. This is the first time I did this as a biohacking method. I've learned that you have to kind of realize to be happy. You just have to be every day. If you want to, in the end, feel that you've been happy every day of your life, the only thing you have to do is every day feel happy at some point of the day.
Yes.
So I've started to do this like maybe 5 years ago, that I take every day 1 minute for happiness.
Okay, nice.
I have my phone ringing and saying that be happy now for 1 minute.
Wow.
And every day
very doable.
Yeah, it's really doable.
1 minute.
No, I don't have time. So it's
just 1 minute with your phone.
Yeah. And you can do that doing this, other things at the same time.
Yes.
You can do work or whatever. This funny example about a woman who was in my training, and she said after it that she has started to take this 1 minute, and she decided that she needs the 1 minute of happiness in the morning at 9 o'clock. And then she wrote me a message that it's bad time because her son is needing she had a baby. So her son is needing her during that time every day. So she can't just sit down and feel happy for 1 minute. And I said, well, this is even better. You can feel happy at the same time when you nurse your son. So it's actually really easy to do. You can do it wherever you are, whatever you do. But with this audience here, we did only 15 seconds.
Okay.
I wanted to test if we can, and I had a limited time, so it was also because of that. But people felt happy during the 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's actually remarkable that in 15 seconds of time, you can go into the happiness and feel that. And that gives a lot of options in life, kind of. You can take every hour 15 seconds for happiness.
True.
So imagine how your day is different after having every hour 15 seconds for happiness. And if you do that 8 times during the day.
That's a great hack.
Yeah. You go in a totally different state in the sleep. So this was actually a good example for those who are in difficult place. There's a lot of people that I meet that are in difficult place in their life and think that, it will take several years when they get back on track, and then they can be happy. So the first thing for every person, your life can be good, your life can be bad, but whatever it is, wherever you are, you can start with happiness today. And I know that you can feel it. Just, you don't need anything specific for it, and you don't need any biohack device to do it.
Happiness is free, for sure.
Yeah, it's just it needs that you kind of decide to be happy at this moment.
And put it in your phone, like you said. You don't even need to remember it. We have,
Yeah. And some people are saying to me that, isn't it kind of wrong that you have to remind yourself with your phone to be happy? Isn't that wrong? And I said, well, I don't know. I had to remind myself. I was doing a lot of work. So I had to remind myself, cut doing the work and just be happy for 1 minute. And actually nowadays I don't use the alarm, but I notice several times per day that I take kind of a happiness moment. And last one was before I was going on stage, and the one before that was when I was driving to here.
And it could be so that we just have habits that are programmed for being unhappy. And so setting the reminder is simply just teaching us a new way of thinking and being.
Yeah, exactly. And when you do that, often enough, you created a new habit, and you realize that your mind is in a happy state many times a day, and then you have kind of your brain functioning in a different way. And I don't know how it will affect you, but I know it will affect, and in multiple ways in your life, and it will create so many nice things that you can't even imagine right now.
And when you said about writing, like all the things you want to create, it takes the brain 17 seconds to change. Yeah. And so if you're writing a list of 100 things or 40 things, you literally put yourself in that new space of focusing on something better, which automatically makes you feel better as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of you can make it a fun play, kind of create more things on your list, because the more you put focus in that, you're really thinking about it, and that in the same time you're creating it in your life.
And I think even if you don't create anything, even if you're doing it just for the reason of feeling good for that time, even that's better than feeling bad and being unhappy. So it's like you don't have to worry about the outcome so much, just...
Yeah, exactly. And it might be that after a week you realize that that's not even what you want, but you wouldn't know it.
Till you play with it and explore.
Exactly.
Nice. Last question. What's the legacy or the most important thing you want to tell the world that you think we should all know at this time?
Well, I would say there's obviously many things, but I think that's the most important thing that I've found, and what I get the most feedback from people, that it only 1 minute feeling happy will affect the next day even. So it has raised people from bad situations up back in life, and making people's life from good even better. So kind of I think it's so that we do things in life in order to be happy. So if you want really to be happy, just start today, now.
It only takes one minute to change your entire life. That's super cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Ilkka. We're really grateful you're here with us today.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you all.